What's up? It's Akai Cure. You know what I'm saying? Back at y'all another video. You already know what it is. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. You know what I'm saying? Once again, I appreciate all the love. You know what I'm saying? All the views or whatever the case may be. Thank you guys for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. It feels really good outside, man. Like, you know what I mean? I just had to come outside for this video, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I had to come outside for the video. It feels real good out here. You know what I mean, as you can tell from the title, man, self-love, man, self-love first. You know what I mean? We gotta understand that we have to understand, you know, what it means to have self-love, what it means to embody, what it means to embrace self-love. We have to truly love ourselves first before we could do anything else. Anything, I don't care what it is, we have to love ourselves first. We have to have knowledge of self first and foremost. In order to love yourself, you got to have knowledge of yourself. But we have to love ourselves, man. It is so important that we love ourselves, that we take the time out and embrace and nourish ourselves, man. Tend to yourself, man, your body, your health, you know what I mean? Like everything, your mindset and everything, man, has to be straight, man, because a lot of times, so often it happens that we go into relationships and situations and with no self-love, no confidence, no low self-esteem and all these things, and it really plays a part in the way your relationship goes. It really plays a part in you know how long it lasts and things of that nature, man. Whatever the case may be, man, we have to love ourselves first, man. And it is so important, man. It's so important, man. And it's okay to take that time out to yourself. It's okay to take that time out to yourself, man. Admire yourself. You feel me? Like, admire yourself, man. Be obsessed with yourself, man. Like, really, you know what I mean? Like, take that time out to take care of your skin and your health and your mind and your thoughts and, you know, shit, things like that. You know, excuse my language, you know what I mean? You know, but you know, we have to love ourselves first, man. It's really important, man. We have to really dig deep into ourselves. When it comes to loving ourselves, we have to get down to the bottom. We have to get down to the core things, you feel me? We have to really gather understand of where things stemming from, where's things starting from, you know, what's at the very, very bottom of these seeds, you know, that have grown out to be so tremendously, you know, so big, you know, so huge into these, you know, problems or you know, or things that just hinder us. What's the root cause of these things? And we have to get down to the bottom of these things, because that is where it needs to come up from. That's where it needs to start at, because you got to dig these things up from the root. You know what I'm saying? In order to begin to love yourself and gain knowledge of yourself, you have to do these things. You have to do that shadow work. You got to dig deep. You feel me? And a lot of times, when we go into relationships or situations, we are unable to deal with whatever it is that this situation may have to give to us, to you know, whatever the lesson may be in this situation, whatever it is that we have to learn. We have a hard time embracing and accepting these things, because we do not love ourselves, because we do not have knowledge of ourselves, because we are holding on to so many things that we haven't let go of. We hold on to so many things from the past, so many things that hurts us still, so many things that we constantly think about. We are holding on to these things to the point we have no room for when things and small failures and things like that start to happen into our life. We don't know how to handle it. We don't know how to handle it, because we already holding on to so many things. We already holding on. We already got so much baggage. We already hurting from things stemming from the past that we haven't let go, that we haven't taken care of, that we haven't gathered a true understanding from, that we haven't dig things up from the root. You know what I'm saying? We haven't dig these things up from the root, so we are unable to deal with the small little things and adversity and trials and tribulations that we go through in our daily life. You feel me? That is here to teach us a lesson, that here to help us learn more about ourselves, so we can become the best versions of ourselves. But we cannot become the best versions of ourselves if we don't have room for growth, if we don't have room to learn, if we don't have room for lessons, if we don't have room for failure, if we don't have room for all these things. Then how are we going to learn? How are we going to grow? How are we going to become the best version of ourselves if we don't have knowledge of ourselves enough to love ourselves? You know what I'm saying? So we have to dig up from the root. We have to learn. We have to get this knowledge. We have to gain it. We have to understand it. We have to embrace it. Don't be sad or stressed out and down about what you find out about yourself. Don't be sad, because a lot of things just happens. You feel me? A lot of things just happens. You feel me? A lot of things we have no control over. You feel me? But the key thing is to get down to the bottom and gain an understanding to the point where you are wise enough to know that those things was really happening or you went through those things to help you grow. You feel me? That we are the ultimate creator of our life, and you do not have to hold on to these hurts and aches and pains that's hindering you from the process, that's hindering you from continuing on to love yourself, become the best version of yourself. You feel me? We have to understand, we have to get down to the bottom of these things, or we are not going to be able to take lessons and take what we need from situations and relationships that we come in contact with, that we experience in our daily life. You feel me? Because we don't have no room. We have no room because we are holding on to so many things from the past, that we holding on to so much hurt and pain, so much we holding on to because we just simply don't understand, and we have a misunderstanding of what's going on in our lives, of what happened in our lives. We have to gain an understanding so we can have room for those other things that's going to transpire, for those adversities, for those trials and those tribulations that's going to happen within our life, that we are going to experience. We have to have room. We have to leave room for these things. You feel me? Because when you have room for these things, you don't have so much things that you hold on to, that you constantly thinking about, that's messing up your thought process, then you will be able to deal with these things as they come in a proper manner. You feel me? In a peaceful manner, in a way that you will be able to get over it to the point where you won't have to hold on to that and drag that on to the next year or the next month, all the way through your life, that you won't have to constantly think about, because in that moment you will have a space and room enough to deal with this situation properly. See, when we are holding on to so many things, we are not able to deal with a certain situation that is at hand properly. We don't know how to get over that situation that may happen in the moment. You know, we may not be able to get over that in a proper manner, in a decent manner, in a peaceful manner, because we hold on to so many things to the point where we are adding all that old stress and depressed and all those old aches and pains. We adding that on to the current situation, to the point where our current situation is seeming so out of whack, seeming so blown up. It's so blown up, and it's so big, and it's so huge, and it's so horrible for us, because in all reality, you holding on to a whole bunch of old past pain. You holding on to a whole bunch of old aches. You feel me? Old situation that you went through that might have hurt you, that might have messed up your mind, that might have got you thinking still to this day, constantly thinking about these things in a negative way. Every time you perceive something, you experience something, it's in a negative way. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, we just simply don't understand what we go through. You know what I'm saying? But we have to gain an understanding, because if you don't, your current situation is going to seem so huge. It's going to seem so unfair. Because really, you are just only adding on that old stress and aches and pains onto this current situation, to the point where it seems so huge. If you didn't have all this baggage, if you haven't held on to all these things, if you're not holding on to all these things, then dealing with something in the current moment could be so easy. You know what I mean? You will be able to deal with it properly, peacefully. You will be open, and you'll have enough room to gather understanding. When you holding on to a lot of things, you dealing with a situation in the moment, you ain't got no room to understand nothing, because you already holding on to everything else. You already holding on to everything else. How many people you didn't know and ran into, you know, and it might be something small that happened, but they be like, I mean, I got all this other stuff I'm dealing with. I got all this stuff on my mind. To the point where they done blew up this current situation that's probably ain't nothing, that's probably petty, but because they hold on to so much other stuff, old stuff, that they cannot deal with the present moment, that they don't understand that this moment doesn't need all that energy. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people will react to a current situation that ain't even that huge, that's real petty. They will act as if they are in a situation, one of those situations that they're holding on to. You know, one of those situations, say you never got over a situation with your parent, and y'all always beefing, y'all always at it, to the point where you had to cut her off, and now you're not cool no more with your parent and things like that. Something went down, and now all of a sudden, you know, you can't, now all of a sudden you can't get over it. You still thinking about it, you still hurting, you still holding on to it, you haven't had closure. Something petty happened in your life in the moment. Something go down this real small. You gonna act in that moment as if you was in that moment where you was pissed at your mom, where you was mad at your mom, where your mom got into it, where your mom put you out to the point where now y'all ain't talking. You gonna react to this situation where it's not even that big or it's petty, as if you was in this situation, one of those situations that you hold on to, as if you was in that one situation that you just can't let go of. You feel me? If you ain't have all that baggage, if you weren't holding on to all these things, this current situation, this small problem or whatever, failure, wouldn't even be that much, wouldn't even be nothing. You would be able to deal with it with ease. So we have to love ourselves. We have to first gain knowledge of ourselves. First and foremost, we have to gain knowledge of ourselves. In order to love ourselves, man, we got to get down to the bottom of these things, and we cannot be afraid to face these things. And I know some things is real ugly and real hard to look at, but we have to face them, and we have to get down to the bottom, and we have to gather understanding, and we have to take what we can out of these situations. Something that probably helped you in the moment, something that probably helped you grow, that probably helped you look at something different, that helped you change your perspective about a certain thing. Because when we go through situations, it ain't always just all bad. We have to understand, we have to be able to look at our situations that we go through that might hurt us, you know what I mean, as also as a tool to grow, also as a lesson learned. You feel me? Because most of the time, all the time, this is what it's for you to learn a lesson, for you to grow, for you to become the best version of yourself. So try to get down to the bottom of it and gather understanding by taking what you can out of that situation that can help you grow in the moment, that can help you deal with your current problems and your current failures and your current situation. Because it ain't all that big if you learn to let go as you go, if you learn to flow and let go as you go. Okay.